Hey guys, what's going on? It's Russ again from Historic Coins and Collectibles of eBay fame. I picked myself up, dusted myself off, and we're gonna keep it together for this video. We're gonna be professionals, okay? I'm a professional. You guys are professionals. You tune in to watch professional numismatic commentary, not to watch me have a meltdown. All right, I understand that, and I let you guys down. I let you guys down, and look, you're sticking with me. You got my back. You're giving me another chance here, so I'm not gonna let you down. And all these coins that I'm about to show are auctioning right now on eBay. This one is actually a very nice coin. This is an 1851 O 3-cent silver trime. This is the first year of issue. And this is the only one that has a mint mark, I believe. This is one of the more sought after ones. It's got a vintage of 720,000. These are 75% silver, 25% copper. All the type 1s are 75% silver, 25% copper. There's a type 1, a type 2, and a type 3. The type 1 is 51 to 53. Those are all 75% silver, 25% copper. There's the type 2 that are 1854 to 1858, I believe. And those are actually 90% silver. They switched for those. But I mean, look at, this is really in very nice condition for an Omen 3-cent silver trime. I mean, it's got some original mint luster to it. The reverse is quite a bit nicer than the obverse. I mean, the reverse has like a little baby cartwheel. And the devices have really nice dark toning on them. It's almost like they're tip shaded. I don't know if anybody has any tattoos, but it's almost like the tips on the devices are kind of like a darker tone to them, and then as it goes down, it kind of fades away. It's a really cool look with the luster and the color and that dark toning on the tips of the devices there. It's a really cool look. But I was talking about the type 2, I think. That's 1854 to 1858. And then there's type 3, which is 1859 to the final year, 1873. And that was the final year for the 3-cent silver trime, because the Coinage Act of 1873 abolished the trime. There wasn't a need for it. It came into existence because it had a purpose. It made commerce easier for American citizens. You didn't have to break change and make change to buy, postage stamps. One coin could purchase one stamp, and so on. And there was a purpose for it. There was a utility for it. And by 1873, there just no longer was the need or the demand for that. And it went through some changes. Like I said, the type 1 was 75% silver. They saw that the coins were wearing faster than the 90% silver coinage. So they adapted and they made the type 2 90%. And they stuck with that for the type 3, like I already said. But this is auctioning right now. It's actually one of the nicer ones that I've seen up for sale. It's certainly an AU coin, because there is some wear on the obverse, but I think AU 50 is a little tough on this thing. Sometimes I get a little delusional with my coins. I understand that, but that coin is, there's no doubt about it. That coin's certainly nicer than a 50. Speaking of 50s, we got another 50. Here's another coin auctioning. And this is 1873 seated Liberty quarter, or as we like to call it in the Liberty Seated Collectors Club, the Liberty Seated. That 1873 Liberty Seated quarter with arrows. You know, I try to be as technical as I can be. I know you guys obviously have observed that and noticed. And I appreciate it. But this one, you can see, the way I mentioned it in the description, is the device has full luster. Let me see if I can find a pointer. I need two. Okay, here we go. So the device has full luster. Right down, follows the legs and the edge of the shield out. And then you have a loss of luster in both of the fields, in the big part of the open fields here and here. You can see there's quite a bit of wear there and a loss of luster. But the luster actually, it flanks towards the outside of both of the fields. It flanks and goes up the devices on the inside of the stars, and it links back together up on the head here. So, and there's blue toning. You can probably see it when I rotate it in the light. There's blue toning all throughout in here that you can really pick up by eye when you're looking at it. And like I said, the fields, there's obvious wear and a loss of luster, but the luster flanks, sweeps around, and meets up back up here. So it's, you know, I'd say this is a fair grade for this. You know, you might be able to give it a 5, because it does, the devices do have quite a bit of pop to them. I don't know if you're picking up the blue color, but this does have quite a bit of blue in it. The reverse is certainly a grade up from the obverse, without a doubt. You don't have loss of luster on the reverse like you do the obverse, and you don't have the obvious wear that the obverse fields have on the reverse. You know, the reverse is just, like I said, it's a grade up. You know, it's a nicer coin over here. You know, it's interesting how they wear like that. You know, I mean, you could see basically the entire surface is original, and then you go over here and you could see clearly, you know, the field on the side of the Freeman's cap. That would be the right side, is almost devoid of luster. You could see it just creeping on the inside of the stars, and you can see it just barely creeping on the outside of the arm there. But it's essentially the whole field has a loss of luster. And then on the left hand side there, smaller field, smaller wear, but still right in the center, you're still missing. So certainly an AU coin, but the arrows, I mean, the survival rate on these is extremely low. It's in like the 2,000 range total in all grades. And then mint state is, you know, it's no more than 200. I think it's less than 200. It's very rare coin, survival rate wise, especially in nice condition. The arrows on these, the arrows for the later years, the 1873 and on, those indicated that they added silver. I'm trying to think here, because I think the 53, they took away 7% of the silver weight, and the 73 they added. I think it was a very small amount. I'm trying to think here. I think they were 6.2 grams in 72, and then in 73 they were 6.25, if I'm correct. You know, they added a very small amount of silver, but they did that in a preparation for a potential switch to the metric system. So they didn't want it to be an off, you know, an off weight. So they bumped it up. But that's the explanation for the arrows. Like I said, the 53, they added arrows and rays. But the rays, it took longer to prepare the dies because of the rays, and the dies didn't last as long because of the rays. That's why the rays were only on for 1 year. And then in 54, 55, they only had the arrows. But those arrows indicate a 7% reduction in silver, opposed to the 73, which indicates an increase in the silver weight. A very small increase to prepare for the metric system. A switch to the metric system, which never happened. But this one is also auctioning. It's very nice. You know, I think it's probably graded correctly, but just because of the reverse. Reverse has a tiny bit of wear on it. You know, if the reverse didn't have the wear on it, I would say that it's undergraded. But, I mean, the obverse makes the coin, so look at this obverse. I mean, this obverse is killer. This is certainly a really nice coin. It's in an A&A holder, which do command a premium. So that's bidding right now. And then I got a barber dime. I think it's a 1906D, if I remember correctly. Check it out. I didn't bust that one out, but that's auctioning too. It's a 1906D barber. It's been in one of my videos. It's got proof-like fields on the obverse, not on the reverse. It's not a proof-like designated. I think it's an AU55, but it's a really nice AU55. So check that out. And this video is getting a little long. You know, I tried to keep it professional in this video. Still trying to find my way here as a channel. Am I going to be a ranting and raving channel or a technical numismatic channel? Probably a little bit of both. Well, I'll see you guys in the next one.